Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, freaks of all ages, FreakNet Studio proudly brings to you, it is the greatest tag team in podcast history! The original Freak Travesty, Mr. 33% Dizzle J. This is Just Freaking Wrestling! Alright guys, it's time to step in the ring with the greatest tag team in podcast history. Just Freaking Wrestling, the JFW podcast, hosted by Travesty.
I'm Dizzle J.
And I want to get something out of the air, get out in the open real quick and clear the air on some shit. SCW does have Halloween next week.
Yes.
Is their Halloween episode and everything. And typically what we like to do here at JFW, as a favorite SCW, is give out their match card.
Right.
I guess a certain somebody, I won't name names, because apparently when I did that 2 weeks ago, he got all butthurt. Didn't really appreciate what I said about him. Again, I'll just calling him a scrotum, a butternut squash, a sperm.
Deadpool pre-burn.
Yeah. I guess because of all that, and I guess because of me going to the SCW school this past week, wearing my DWA shirt, he wasn't available to get me the match card for the week.
Oh.
Yeah. And I tried. Trust me, I tried. I tried calling his quote-unquote office, which I'm assuming is just a corner of the basement his wife allows him to set up a desk at. But there was no answer.
Huh?
Nothing. It's not going to affect our show, because we have a lot to cover.
Oh, definitely.
Luckily, before I was asked to leave the school because of the shirt that I purchased, I was able to at least get two of the matches that were set up for Halloween. So we can at least go over that. We're going to go over the results of Raw and SmackDown, AEW, and NXT. And because of my lack of memory and shit we do, we're going to do both our final freaking thoughts.
I like when we the two final freaking thoughts is always fun.
I mean, and we don't know what our final freaking thoughts are because we like to wait till the end of the night or the end of the episode to hear them like for the first time to get an immediate response. So it's possible some of them are duplicates. So since this is your week to do final freaking thought, you're going to go first. And if I have any duplicates of yours, I'll just skip those and just read my other ones.
Cool beans.
We're going to do, obviously, the freaking five that we always start out with, which I didn't get it posted onto the Real Wrestling's fan club, so that's on me. And we didn't get any responses onto our Facebook page, so that's on our listeners. So shame on you guys for not participating. How dare you? So we're going to give our freaking five list. Before I do, I just want to remind everyone that this episode of JFW is brought to you by Audible.com. If you're just like me and you are a fan of history and stories and hearing about interesting facts and whatnots, if you're just not a big fan of reading about those things yourself, Audible.com is the best place for you to go because they have over 1,000 titles to choose from of different fiction and nonfiction, sci-fi, and goofy-ass books that you could ever imagine right in one area. And if you go to audibletrial.com/freaknet right now, you get a 30-day free trial of Audible and a credit towards your purchase of your first book.
Oh, man, it's so much fun. I enjoy it. I never thought I would enjoy it as much as I do.
And I'm glad that they have this opportunity for the trial so you get an idea of what it is.
Right.
So you're not paying for something you're going in blindly for. They give you the opportunity to utilize a 30-day free trial plus a credit to purchase your free book to kind of see how Audible works and how much fun you actually can get out of it.
Oh, yeah.
So make sure you take advantage of the opportunity right now. Get your 30-day free trial and free credit for your first book at audibletrial.com/freaknet today.
Freaknet
Studios. Jay, freaking five, bro.
So, freaking five this week was top performers in the biz right now who deserve to have the championship in their fed.
Yeah. Now, let me ask you, as we're diving into this, because you came up with this freaking five.
Yeah.
Were you looking at someone who never was champion or somebody who was in the past and
I did both.
both. Okay.
So
cool.
to me, I did both. Like, you get those like a Bray Wyatt run where it was
who had it for like a month.
For a month,
Yeah,
and it could have been so much more, but it wasn't.
Gotcha. Okay, yeah, I just want to make sure I did it right. I just stuck to WWE this time just because the stars and everything on AEW, they're all still new to me. So I just stuck with WWE because that's what I know more about.
I did mostly WWE.
Yeah. So I'll go first.
Okay.
Because you typically go last and everything.
Nice guys finish last.
Sure. I was gonna say best for last, but you go last. So I chose Braun Strowman for the Universal Championship or the WWE Championship. It'd be nice if he won, one of the mid card IC US titles too. But I think with everything he's done in the business already and all the matches he had, just shoot him straight to the top and give him the championship. I mean, fucking Khali held the damn thing, for God's sakes. I would like to see Heavy Machinery win the tag team championships. Especially going into like Survivor Series and stuff like that when, it's Raw versus SmackDown. And right now with the Viking Raiders are the current Raw champions, which we're going to go through that in the Raw results. I would love to see the Raiders take on the Heavy Machinery.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Finn Balor, I think, should get another shot at any championship, whether he sticks in NXT, be NXT champion again, or eventually moves back over to SmackDown or Raw and win one of those main titles again. Because, unfortunately, because of his injury, he was only, Universal champion for like 22 hours.
Yeah, something like that.
The Fiend, I think, should actually get the opportunity, the push that he deserves, and I would love to see the Miz hold a heavyweight championship again.
I would really love to see Miz break the IC title record. I think he deserves it, and I even think Jericho would be okay with that.
I'm trying to remember, was Miz ever U.S. champion or not?
I think he's is he a Grand Slam?
Well, he is Grand Slam because he was tag team, IC, heavyweight, and maybe he's.
I think he has held it.
I think he had to have held U.S. title.
Yeah, I would imagine so.
Yeah, I think there was like a thing between him and AJ or something. I don't know.
Maybe it was Roman.
Gio, let me know.
Gio.
Fucking Gio, let me know.
All right, so I went ahead and I did Moxley.
Okay.
For AEW, because I think that would be. It'd still have someone younger, and Jericho's good. And it's a great first champion.
Do you think AEW will ever have a mid card champion?
I think they'll have some kind of TV title or something at some point in time. Ember Moon.
Yeah.
Velveteen Dream. At least an NXT title.
Yeah.
I feel like if he goes anywhere else, they're not going to use him properly. Aleister Black.
Yep.
And Ricochet.
Yeah.
I think that'd be awesome to see like a Black Ricochet WWE title match at WrestleMania.
I think so.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, let's go ahead and dive into what happened this week on Raw, SmackDown, AEW, and NXT.
All right.
So we're going to start with Raw. The show opened with a recap of what happened at Hell in the Cell between Seth Rollins and The Fiend, where no matter what Seth Rollins did, The Fiend just wouldn't stay down until eventually he used a sledgehammer to make it a no contest, which in a Hell in a Cell match, I don't understand how that happens. Becky Lynch came out as, being the number one overall draft pick, especially for Raw, since Raw got the benefit of having 3 picks to SmackDown's 2 because they're a 3-hour-long show. She came out, was talking about how, she has to face Charlotte again and all this other stuff and blah, blah, blah. Charlotte came out, said that she's not a selfish person. She doesn't want to face Becky again. She wants to be Becky's friend, ultimately just to attack her to get some kind of cheap shot on her. So
Charlotte is getting to look more and more
Flair-like?
Plasticky. Yeah. She's destroying her looks. And she wasn't that pretty to begin with.
No. It's like young Rick with a wig.
Yeah. And tits.
Still cute though. Just not. She's no Alexa Bliss.
Oh God, no.
Or Mandy Rose.
Or Liv Morgan.
God, Liv Morgan. I'm so glad she got drafted. Even though she hasn't been around a lot. Charlotte and Becky did start out the show one-on-one, just like Seth and Roman did last Friday. The winner of their show gets the first overall pick.
Brand.
So Becky ended up winning with a roll-up, which gave Raw the first pick. Stephanie McMahon came out, she picked Seth Rollins for Raw, Charlotte, and Andrade in the first round for Raw. So, SmackDown got Brock Lesnar and The New Day. So, not really a big change there. That was, other than Andrade and Charlotte, I mean, the other three picks were kind of surprising.
Vega went with Andrade, too.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I forgot about him from my list.
Andrade?
Yeah, I like Andrade.
Yeah. Andrade, after they did the announcements of the drafts, came out and he faced Ali in a singles match where he went over on Ali. Which I'm still a fan of Ali too.
Oh
He's
yeah,
a good guy, good wrestler. So hopefully his push keeps going forward because I know on the SmackDown they did a lot of those vignette videos and stuff like that.
He got to make them himself.
Yeah,
he directed those and everything.
I believe you told me that.
Yeah.
I think you did mention it to me. Following that, they did a round 2 pick where Raw picked up the Kabuki Warriors, Rusev, and Aleister Black. SmackDown picked up Daniel Bryan and Bayley.
I love the new
Bayley?
The new Kabuki Warriors.
Kabuki Warriors, yeah. I like the, and I'm not sure because obviously I'm colorblind, so it's hard for me to distinguish colors and shit. But Asuka now has what looks to me like blood running from her eyes on her face.
It's like a green.
It's a green?
Yeah.
Okay. Which I assume partially reds and greens and blues and purples kind of mix up with me.
Oh.
One, it's in certain ways it does. Not every, like I notice your shirt is red as you wear your Mr. 33% Dizzle J shirt. Where'd you get that, Jay?
I got this from tpublic.com.
tpublic.com.
tpublic.com. All kinds of JFW swag and Freaknet Studio swag.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
I don't say. How do you find it on TeePublic, Jay?
You just search JFW.
You just gotta search JFW.
Just gotta search JFW.
You don't say.
That's it.
That's nuts.
You can get it on anything.
Which they have magnets now.
And buttons.
I
need to give me a button.
Next match on Raw, we had the Viking Raiders taking on the Raw Tag Team Champions, Rude and Ziggler, for the Raw Tag Team titles, where the Viking Raiders did pick up the win and became the new Raw Tag Team Champions.
This kind of shocked me that they let this happen already. Well, I don't want to say already, but they let this happen.
Well, as we go through, you're going to understand why. So it'll make more sense as we go through the results through this past week. So following that loss, Stephanie again, which I kind of like how Stephanie came out for both sides because the way the draft worked compared to other times is the television executives played a part in the drafts. So she was just like the moderator between the two. Yeah. So it was pretty cool that concept kind of rolled into how the drafts work now. Raw picked up Cedric Alexander, Humberto Camillo, which being not a huge fan of 205 Live and watching it, he was new to me.
Yeah, it's.
But he was credited to being a rising star from at 205 Live, so it's cool. It's gonna be exciting to see what he does. And then also Rowan, which is cool for Rowan because with everything he's going on and he's been doing, it's nice that for him to actually be mentioned on here.
Right.
Because there was a lot of guys who may be above Rowan for some time who weren't really drafted.
There's a lot of superstars all the way around that weren't drafted.
SmackDown got Shinsuke Nakamura and Ali. So we do got Ali over on SmackDown still, so maybe those vignettes and the push will still continue. Aleister Black came out, faced Eric Young, which was nice to see Eric Young have a televised match for the first time in a long time. I think since really Sanity, outside of him chasing the 24/7 title, I haven't really seen him in the ring too much.
I always enjoyed Eric Young.
I did.
Even in Impact and his whole evolution into what he became.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because he had the ability to be so many different things.
Right.
Like, he was able to be goofy. He was able to kind of be like, the evil, that leader of the United Nations type of thing that he did. He's a well-rounded character, especially the leader of Sanity when he came to NXT.
Right.
Which is a shame that ended, but I think everyone from that group really kind of just branched out on their own, with Killian Dane having a singles run in NXT, Wolf being part of Imperium, Cross, having her thing with Alexa Bliss, and now, be a number one contender. We're going to find out here shortly. Eric is almost kind of seems like the one that got left behind.
Right.
Which I'm not sure, like, where his mind is on that. Like, I know he said that he's always there to help push the new guys and everything. I don't know if this works for him and what he's doing, or he's just, hey, it's a paycheck. So
I can see him lining up on creative one day.
I can think so. Alistair picked up the win over Eric Young, which is no surprise. Round 4 picks happened where Raw picked up Buddy Murphy, Jinder Mahal, and R-Truth. So that's the
why is Jinder Mahal even a thing?
I don't even fucking know, man. SmackDown picked up Dolph and Rude following their loss, and they also picked up Carmella. Let's see here.
Should be by Corey. What?
Yeah, right. Pretty much. I think that's the whole reason Charlotte and Andrade got drafted together.
That's what they're saying. Like, so a lot of stuff I've been reading, and they're saying that, like, well, if you notice, they put all the couples together, and then you didn't hear nothing about the Usos or Naomi.
Well,
so they're undrafted right now.
Yeah, and I think that's where it makes more. Well, I guess it doesn't make more sense, but I mean, you now have Nikki Cross going for the SmackDown Women's Championship, but her husband is on Raw.
Who's her husband?
The who'd-you-call-it? Wait, hold on. I'm trying to think. Now I'm getting everyone mixed up. No, I'm sorry.
No,
her husband's on NXT.
Yeah, and
it's Sarah Logan. Her husband is in Viking Raiders. Where's Sarah Logan at?
I don't. Her and Liv Morgan have been kept off TV.
Yeah,
I think
crazy.
They're repackaging.
Yeah. So how does that work then? Because I thought one of the rules in WWE was they keep husbands and wives together. So why is Nikki Cross and Killian Dane? So I mean, unless they're okay with it.
I don't think it's a rule.
I thought someone said that was like one of the rules that WWE put, like, relationship-wise, boyfriend and girlfriend is not really about husband and wives. They try to keep together. It's not like a definite, but that's one of their goals. But either way, I don't work for WWE yet. So
right.
Following that round of drafts, there was a segment in the back where Street Profits were talking about how, like, there's a rising tag team and it's their show for Raw, blah blah. The OC came in, told them that Raw is still their show, and then eventually attacked them and beat them down. After all that happened, Ricochet took on Shelton Benjamin, which is cool to see Shelton Benjamin again. Ricochet ended up picking the win up over him. Tyson Fury and Braun Strowman had their contract signing where they kind of just mouthed at each other and no fight really broke out.
Didn't they break the table in half?
Ooh, I can't remember.
I think Braun broke the table in half.
I don't know. All I know is I watched like 7 hours of wrestling in the span of a morning, so I couldn't tell you. Round 5 picks. Raw picked up Samoa Joe, Akira Tozawa, and Shelton Benjamin.
I was shocked to see Tozawa on that list.
Yeah. I'm surprised to see Samoa Joe under Jinder Mahal in rounds.
Yeah, well.
SmackDown picked up The Miz and Corbin, so The Miz is now moving back to SmackDown. Buddy Murphy faced Cedric Alexander, which is pretty cool because, I mean, out of 205 Live, these are the two I've probably seen the most. Buddy Murphy ended up picking up the match, picking up the win, and he did his Murphy's Law, which I think is one of the coolest fucking finishers I've ever. The final round of drafts were made where Raw picked up Rey Mysterio, Titus O'Neil, and Liv Morgan. And SmackDown picked up Shorty Gable and Elias.
Poor Gable.
Yeah.
Poor Gable.
Yeah. Main event for Raw was the Kabuki Warriors taking on Natalya and a partner of her choice, which ended up being Lacey Evans. Which was kind of a surprise since he had the last woman standing match last week.
Great match.
Very good match. Kabuki Warriors picked up the victory. So being the Raw or the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, they're really getting that push and showing that they are a tag team that needs to be, noticed. And obviously the show ends with Seth Rollins burning down the Firefly Funhouse.
The best part to me was when he beat him down and Bray gets back up. He's like, "Why are you doing this to me?"
It was good. I liked it. The only thing I didn't like about that whole segment is when Bray got up, his hair was kind of like pushed forward. And I couldn't stop fucking laughing from that. It almost ruined the whole segment for me. But then it got great again until Seth miraculously set the table on fire, flipped it over, and it ruined it again.
Yeah.
So that was it for Raw. Not a bad show. I think it was okay. AEW Dynamite. Lucha Bros came out, tagged SCU. There we go. SCU. Daniels ended up getting hurt during the attack, which, oh God, what the hell is the third guy's name? It's not Scorpio.
Scorpio Sky.
Scorpio Sky. He came out, took Daniels' place, where him and Kazarian faced the team best friends. SCU ended up taking the victory, moving on in the tournament. Inner Circle, Santana and Ortiz in a tag team match against Alex Reynolds and Johnny Silver, where Inner Circle ended up taking the win. Following that match, Cody had a little video vignette who was talking about how he's preparing himself for his Full Gear Championship match against Chris Jericho on November 9th. Talking about how much it means to him, what he has to go through on a daily basis, not only being the VP of AEW, but also the number one contender for the title. Some people who were shown in the vignette was WWE Hall of Famer DDP. Cody's friend MJF. Cody's mom ended up being part of it. JR and Tony Schiavone also came in, and everyone talked about what Cody goes through again on a daily basis as not only a VP but a star of the show itself. Following that, Rio took on Dr. Britt Baker for the Women's Championship. Rio ended up taking the victory. They shook hands in the middle of the ring, and we moved on from that. Lucha Bros and Jurassic Express took on each other in the final first round match for the tag tournament, where Lucha Bros won and advanced into the next round.
I think Lucha Bros are one of my favorite tag teams at the moment.
I think they're really cool. That's Pillman's son. No, I'm sorry. I'm thinking Jurassic Express. But no, yeah.
No, Jurassic Express is Luke Perry's son.
Luke Perry's son. They're the same thing. It's all the same thing.
Zero.
Yeah, God. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about them. I guess it works as them being a heel, but I thought they're supposed to be like the face. Like, why would they attack SCU? Because now you kind of made SCU the face.
I don't know. Maybe there's something there that we don't know about.
Yeah. And during this attack and everything, as I mentioned before the show, like when they're helping Chris Daniels after he got the package power driver onto the entrance stage, you saw the ref throw up the X, which is supposed to show a legitimate injury. And not only that, we saw the Young Bucks come out, and somebody else came out from the back and was checking on him. They carried him out. Not only they didn't carry him out through the back, they carried him out around the ring and through the crowd for an easier access. So I don't know if it's just me being a mark and some shit and believing like he really got injured. And later on they say it was just a stinger and everything's okay, if it was all part of, the work, or if he really got, injured. And Scorpio came in and, because he played off pretty well.
I watched it, and driver got hit perfectly.
Mm-hmm. Following that match, I consider this being first of two main events for AEW, where we had Paige and Omega teaming up against Pac and Moxley, which this could easily be. This could have been the main event. Yeah. Great match all around. These are mega stars, and on top of that, it's weird to see two former WWE stars team up together, who had a disgruntled leave from the company against two guys who really made their name outside the company.
Right.
Paige and Omega ended up taking up the win against Pac and Moxley. I'm pretty sure. Is it Pac or Pac? Because I've heard it both ways. Is it Pac?
Pac.
All right. Great match. Hangman Page is probably my favorite guy in AEW currently, which is a weird, and I could be wrong because now I can't remember the fucking matches. Dustin actually had a match. What was that, last week?
I think they teamed together.
I'm talking about Dustin Rhodes.
Did he?
I'm trying to remember now, because he had to have been on the show by now, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Irrelevant, I guess, whoever doing. The final match was a street fight with Jericho taking on Darby Allin for the AEW Championship. Brutal match. Went on for what it seemed like fucking forever. Ultimately ended with Jericho taking the win via submission after Hager came out and interfered.
So did it feel like forever in a good way?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. No, it's like when you get the fans who actually chant fight forever. It's like I kind of felt that way. It's like they could do so much, and I like the interference aspect of it because it doesn't hurt Allen's character in any way.
Yeah.
And it gives it like a sense of that's what Jericho needs to do now.
And it still promotes that heel Jericho.
Yeah. So AEW again was another great week for AEW. They obviously got more views than NXT again. But we're going to dive into NXT here as well. 8 matches in 2 hours. I don't know if that's a good thing or bad thing.
I mean, there was no squash matches.
No. I mean, like...
They were good matches.
Yeah. Which, and one of the better parts, I think, of NXT and how it works, and AEW is the same way, they don't have a lot of filler for promos and plugs and all that stuff. You know, they only do a few and kind of make them count. NXT opens up with Ciampa returning to take on Angel Garza. Ciampa ended up taking the win. Following his victory, the Undisputed Era came out, circled the ring. Ciampa grabbed a chair, sat down in the middle of the ring with this camouflage wrapped crutch.
Yeah.
So it was really cool that did that. As everything was going on, Kyle O'Reilly. It had to have been Kyle O'Reilly, right? Yeah, Kyle O'Reilly went up to the announcers and gave them a junk drive. Yeah. Told them to check it out. They ran that back to the trailer where the fuck the setup is. They ended up playing it, and it showed the Undisputed Era attacking Velveteen Dream and laying him out. Telling them that the Undisputed Era is sick and tired of not being taken seriously, and that this is what happens if people get in the way. Went as far as threatening Ciampa and Finn Balor. You know, if you give him away, this is what happens.
Every time I see Adam Cole, he looks like a bobblehead.
Yeah?
Yeah. Every time, I was like, I like the guy.
You know who's a bobblehead? Sentinel. So, the next match was Imperium. Members of Imperium, Fabian and Marcel, taking on Lorcan and Birch, which, from looking on the internet, this was the top match of the night. And I couldn't agree more. For as weird as Lorcan and Birch look like, they are like really good fucking competitors.
You know, they had the same dynamic as Natalya and Lacey Evans, is where they were fighting each other, each other, and now they've come together. I think isn't one of them a second generation or a third generation?
I want to say Lorcan is, but I haven't really dived too far into that. They're just really fucking ugly. They're like they got together and had a baby named a Sentinel. So the third match of the night, we had Io Shirai take on Kaden Carter. Io ended up picking up the victory. Following that, Rhea Ripley came out, told Io Shirai that she's that she needs to keep Rhea's name out of her mouth. She's not a big fan of how Bianca Belair was going around talking about her either. She's gonna take care of Belair, and as soon as she's done, she has no problem taking care of Io right after. Io Shirai started yelling at her, circling the ring, eventually just getting out of the ring to avoid confrontation because you don't want to fuck with Rhea Ripley.
No, that's a mean bitch.
Next match with Keith Lee taking on Dominic Djokovic. Whatever you said. Dominic, I don't give a fuck. Winners are going to be the next number one contender for the North American title. End up going to a no contest as Roderick Strong came out to interfere, attacking both of them. And William Regal solved that problem as the NXT general manager, stating that next week, all three men are going to face each other for the North American Championship.
I love how it was almost instantaneous. Mm-hmm. Like, he saw it happening back, and he came right out to his little crow's nest or whatever. It's like, you're going to fight both of them. Regals is always one of my favorites.
That's going to be a good match. That'll probably be the main event for next week. It's a triple threat for North American title. Who do you take for that one?
I'm going to take Strong.
Strong to hold on to it?
Yeah, because with the Undisputed Era, they've been staying back until one of their guys gets in trouble.
Yeah. Riddle took on Bronson Reed. It was a good match. It was noted on the internet that Bronson Reed is a great competitor, held his own against Riddle, but does need to kind of... he needs to start picking up some wins.
I mean, this match proved Riddle's not only a high flyer and a striker, but has some power to him too, because he picked this dude up and threw him around.
Following match was Tegan Knox taking on Tanera Conti. Tegan ended up picking up the win. Following that was a Balor video vignette, kind of talking about his plans for the future and how he feels about the Undisputed Era and all this other good stuff. It's a Balor promo. Yeah. Killian Dane took on Boa. Killian Dane ended up picking up the win on that one. Nothing exciting there other than it's fucking Killian Dane, and he's just a powerhouse.
He's scary.
Main event was Pete Dunne taking on Damian Priest, where Damian Priest picked up a clean victory against Pete Dunne.
See, I was watching that match as I had to leave for work.
Yeah, well, I just told you. Priest won. Welcome to the podcast, bro. Okay, let's wrap this up with SmackDown. 6 matches, 2-hour-long show. Shinsuke Nakamura took on Roman Reigns for the IC title. Roman won by disqualification after Sami Zayn and Baron Corbin attacked Roman. Daniel Bryan came out to aid Roman, and it didn't make much of a difference, and all 3 beat down those guys. It was later announced that the main event for SmackDown will be Roman and Daniel taking on Shinsuke Nakamura and Baron Corbin in a tag team match. Following that, Shorty Gable took on Curtis Axel in a singles match. Shorty Gable picked up the victory on that.
How was that match?
It was okay. I mean, it's a Chad Gable fucking match. So
you're not even gonna bust Curtis Axel's balls, just Gable?
Yeah, no. I wish Axel got more opportunities, but he's just, with all the talent that he has right now, I get where he is, where he's at.
Yeah.
Shorty Gable cut a promo talking about him and all this other shit. Following that, Hogan's vignette came on talking about how Seth Rollins is no longer the captain of that team. Now that Seth Rollins is going to face the Fiend at Saudi Arabia. And Seth was replaced with Roman Reigns as captain.
Of course.
Next was New Day and Heavy Machinery in an 8-man tag against the Revival and Dolphin Rude. New Day and Machinery picked up the win. No surprise there. Miz TV had a segment where Bayley and Sasha came out as his guest. Bayley went on talk about how, after she lost her title, she was upset. She was crying. There was no one there to hug her. So she said, "I'm done. F this." Sasha's all like, Bayley's the first ever Grand Slam champion, which I think I made that announcement when she won the title the first time. So,
you sure did.
So, Sasha, good try. Following that and all her talking about the 6-pack challenge and first number 1 contendership, Nikki came out, said that, after she wins, she had no problem giving Bayley a hug. Dana Brooks came out afterwards, saying even though she's underutilized, she's more motivated now than ever to become SmackDown champion, which clearly shows she's not going to win. So 6-pack challenge for number 1 contendership for the SmackDown Women's Championship. We had Nikki Cross, Mandy Rose, Sonya Deville, Dana Brooks, Carmella, and Lacey Evans all facing off to each other. Obviously, Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville, Fire and Desire team, manhandled the rest of the group throughout the majority of the match. Eventually, Nikki Cross did taking the victory, and now she deserved a number 1 contendership. Strowman and Gulak were out in the ring. Gulak was telling Strowman that if he listens to him, he could guarantee he can knock out
Tyson Fury.
I almost said Mike Tyson. I don't know why. Mike Tyson Fury at Saudi Arabia. He put together a 635 frame fucking slide PowerPoint presentation to show Braun. And at the very beginning, Braun ended up attacking him, causing a match, tossed Gulak around a lot. Strowman ended up winning. It wasn't a big match or anything important. It was just to show Braun was a powerhouse. Main event, Roman Reigns and Daniel Bryan took on Corbin and Shinsuke Nakamura. You want to guess who won?
Roman and Daniel Bryan.
There we go. So, SmackDown wasn't that good, and it's probably because they fired fucking Eric Bischoff.
Yeah, Bruce Pritchard. What the fuck? I mean, come on. Just give both shows to Paul.
Yeah.
And have it be over.
Exactly. Guys, before we dive into Dizzle J's Pick of the Week, I want to remind you all that we do have a Patreon that you can sign up for into several different kinds of tiers that are priced at very different price ranges to help out the podcast. If you go to patreon.com/JFW podcast right now and sign up for one of our tiers, not only are you contributing to the podcast and making them better and make it grow bigger than what it is, but you also get some great gifts based on the tier, things such as shout outs on the podcast, birthday shout outs on our social media. You're going to get extra content such as additional podcasts that we release just to the exclusive tiers that you sign up for. Episodes like behind the scene, Dark Side of the Ring kind of podcast where we talk about the death of Owen Hart, Miss Elizabeth and her drug addictions, what happened with Bruiser Brody, stuff like that. Also, a watch-along podcast where we pick a pay-per-view from WWE Network. You guys turn on the WWE Network, pick up the pay-per-view that we're going to talk about, and then you just watch along while listening to our podcast and we discuss it. We actually did an example of that about a month or so ago. So check that one out. And then, like I said, it's part of different kind of tiers, as well as if you own a company and you're looking to help sponsor a podcast like ours in any kind of way, there's a tier that you can sign up for that. It's exclusive just to companies to sponsor us, and you get your logo on our social media, on our website. It gets plugged weekly on our podcast and our social media as much as we can do it for you.
Become an investor.
Yeah, that's right. Invest in the JFW, because not only is JFW growing, but we're also growing with the help of this freaking show and Doug Gray Area as a group. Studios. I like how you did the Zero Miro.
I know. I just love that.
God damn. Freaknet Studios is a network that we're building along with two other podcasts. One of which is my other podcast, This Freaking Show, and one that's hosted by Sarge, who was supposed to be a host of this show. It just never worked out, but he just started his own podcast, which is also good, called The Gray Area. It's a network that we're going to come together, help each other grow and everything, to eventually where we're going to start putting out YouTube videos so you guys can watch us collaborate together and make some awesome videos for you. So make sure you go to JFW Podcast right now on Facebook or on YouTube. Subscribe to that, because we're going to start launching YouTube video podcasts where we're going to actually video record these podcasts as we go through them, so you can watch it as we go through it ourselves. But Freaknet Studios will eventually have their own YouTube channel as well, where all the Freaknet collaborations between the four of us, that's Dizzle J and myself, the co-host of This Freaking Show with me, Cartoon Joe, as well as the host of The Gray Area, Sarge, will start doing videos together and stuff, such as like ranking local burger places and stuff like that.
I think I'm looking forward to that one.
Yeah. Me and Sarge are in a competition right now on where we believe hot sauces are better. He believes all the hot sauces from Mexico are better than anything in the United States. So we're going to compete with his top 4, maybe 5 sauces from Mexico, and then my top 4, maybe 5 sauces in the U.S. Put them on random different foods and check them out and see how which ones are eventually better. So it's just going to be stuff like that. We're probably going to play some games and stuff like that. Who knows? Maybe we'll get drunk. I don't fucking know. I'm thinking that's probably going to happen.
I'm thinking that's going to happen.
There's an idea for a drinking type episode that I have an idea for. I've actually had an idea for you that we're going to eventually come out with and do too. So that's where we are, and that's what Freaknet Studios is. If you guys went onto our Facebook and saw our banner that says Freaknet Studios, that's what it is. It's a network that we are coming together to do content with each other. And it is open to other podcasts or creators out there that want to join in. You just got to message us and let us know you're interested. And we'll talk to you and see what we can do about making that work. All right, Jay. Patreon.com/JFW Podcast. Do sign up for the tiers. All right, Jay.
The pick of the week. So we talked about the match beforehand, and they've had 4 matches already. So I picked one of them. I don't remember which one it was, but Keith Lee, versus Dominic Djokovic, and these guys just rock. I mean, like, they're doing stuff you do not expect a 400-pound man to do, or a 7. Gotta be pretty close to 7 tall.
Yeah, I think he's like 6'10". So
I mean, he's ridiculous. But those guys are just some fresh new faces from NXT that you need to check out and you need to be on the watch for.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, so make sure to check it out. And obviously, this is pick of the week, along with our freaking 5 and the release of our podcast are all available on Facebook. You just got to follow us on Facebook at JW Podcast. Just find our page, like it, you get notifications, sign up for notifications from our show and shit. Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook is where JFW Podcast is located on social media. Follow all of them as you get uploaded pictures of the wrestling shows we go to on Instagram and some notifications from Twitter as well. We don't use Twitter a lot, but we do use it from time to time as a notification for when our podcast gets released. The majority of our stuff is on Facebook.
So, I don't know how to use anything else.
Yeah, so make sure you follow us on Facebook, JFW Podcast. Like it, follow it, and stuff, and be involved in it.
Like it. Love it. You want some more?
All right, Jay. Let's dive through our final freaking thoughts. So go ahead and give me yours, and then I'll give you the ones that you didn't do.
All right. So I didn't put them in any kind of order.
No, that's fine.
So have you checked out any of the NWA Power?
I have not. No.
It's not bad.
I need to do it. It's just like
it's on YouTube. It's on Facebook.
It took me till Saturday to watch all wrestling this week.
I get it because I still haven't watched it all, and I have Impact. I still have to watch too.
Oh shit, Jay! No, don't do that yet. Next Saturday is SCW Hallowmania. It's in Clifton, Illinois. Doors open at 6. Bell times at 7. You can pre-buy your tickets for $10 at Fit Body U, Genesis Martial Arts, or Glasswork down in Bradley, or you can buy them at $12 at the door. I did mention I did get 2 matches that are set up for SCW Hallowmania. One of them is Gino Latino, who is returned to SCW to tag with Bobby Blues. They're going to take on the Modern Day Sharpshooters, which is James Creed and Max Blaylock.
Oh, that should be
a good one. It
should be a good one, but I'm picking the Sharpshooters.
Oh yeah, you got to.
Yeah,
you got to. The other match is actually Natasha Crane taking on Angus McDuff, which they had their issues ever since the Unholy Alliance kind of broke apart. They did have a match out in Thornton at the Bootlegger show that they did back a couple weeks ago. October 5th, I believe it was. So they're going to have another match, and let's see if Natasha could pick up that win against
Black
Angus.
Hole Slam his ass.
So those are the only two matches I got for you guys because Sentinel's being a pube. So
turd burglar.
All right, that butternut squash.
Who in your mind would either be the most surprising or the most obvious?
To go from like one show to another?
To make the DWA jump.
Oh, to join DWA. Yeah. So from ARW and SCW
so like join. The Lunatic made his allegiance known.
Yeah.
Who would be the most surprising and who's the most obvious?
Obvious, I think, would be BOW. I can see BOW siding with DWA. I think like even though he's an ARW guy, I think he really doesn't care anything about the issues between SCW and ARW. He wants to do his own thing. I think DWA is growing forward to be their own thing, and just I think ARW and SCW is just what's the hell's the word? An obstacle for him.
Right. Something he could smash.
Yeah. Surprising. If I had to choose surprising, it would either be Holiday would be surprising to me, or if I was looking at SCW, I think JPH would be a surprise if he went to DWA because I think he's grown to be the next SCW guy.
Yeah.
Everyone else, I mean, if it happened, it made sense. Like if Maverick Cage went to DWA, that would make sense because regardless of him wanting to be Elite Pain, I think he is always out for himself and himself first. Kamikaze, I have no doubt, believes she'll go to DWA. I don't think she really cares where she's at, but it doesn't seem like she gives a shit about CW. Hunter, I still wouldn't be surprised if he went to DWA.
I know you've talked about that before.
Yeah. I think everyone would be surprised. With me, I wouldn't be too surprised. If I see it, like, that makes fucking sense.
It kind of made a little more sense to me after the...
I mean, I
Godfather, I guess, took care of him.
I could be wrong about this, so I'm pretty sure I might not be. But I think Hunter has a slight regret on allowing Maverick to be part of Elite Pain. Because ever since he came in, he hasn't really been part of the tag team scene. Now, granted, he's SCW champ. Good for him.
Right.
But now you're having Maverick defend a title he didn't win. That you went out there and busted your ass in a handicap situation until your tag team partner showed up, and now you just hand his title off to Maverick, who is now pretty much taken over your slot.
Right. Yeah.
So it's But again, I mean, I could be completely wrong because again, he is SCW champion regardless of how he got it. I will admit that because a win's a win regardless. Even though even to this day, I'll say it was fucking handed to him. He's still the SCW champion. Right. So it's not like he's being pushed out of sight and out of mind because of Maverick's involvement. But I think when it comes to Elite Pain, there's no more hunting pain in that anymore.
Yeah.
But
I get that.
Yeah, but everyone else, it would make sense in its own little way. But surprising would be JPH or Holiday.
That both would be really surprising. Mm-hmm. What are you expecting out of the show tonight?
I'm assuming that people are going to attack each other because they're petty.
Oh, okay. Yeah. It seems that AEW is more focused on a tag team division and making that something.
Yeah.
Do you think the tag team titles should take place over a mid-card title? Should they have made a mid-card title before the tag team titles?
No, I think their whole focus right now is making sure everyone gets on the show so people know who they are. So I don't think they really need that mid-card title for a while even, but I know people like tag team wrestling and they want to make tag team wrestling more relevant. So I think having that is a lot better for them.
I always forget that we're not on video as I point to myself.
Yeah, right. Soon we will.
Soon. NXT feels like the top product from WWE right now. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think it is. It's because of how it's presented, and I think that would make it better. You can actually see Raw and SmackDown looking more like NXT as far as how low the lights are and everything. But I mean, these are all like new talent who is busting their ass more. I mean, even now, because we've mentioned it before, like when you look at Raw and SmackDown, everyone seems really fucking careful on what they're doing.
Yeah.
Except for the guys who came up from NXT or the guys who are in NXT. But now they're televised just like Raw and SmackDown. And granted, it's only been maybe a month, but they're still busting their asses like, they're the indie guys.
Yeah, it does. NXT to me does have a little more of the indie feel.
I want to know how the pay scale works now. I mean, in reality, they're no different than SmackDown.
But they don't travel.
I know, but still. It doesn't matter. I mean, Raw and SmackDown, they pay for their own travel costs and everything. Unless it's contracted in, like probably Brock Lesnar or Roman Reigns and stuff like that. But I mean, all those guys, they pay for their own hotels, they pay for their own rental cars, and all that shit.
They have to write it off in their taxes.
Yeah. I'm sure NXT gets you too, if they were to travel. I mean, Street Profits, are they still technically just NXT?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
Are people going to want to leave NXT for Raw or SmackDown anymore?
No. I think people are starting to realize that NXT is a lot better. I think eventually they're going to want to see bigger venues, but...
So, and this is just rumor. We don't know nothing for sure.
Okay.
But do you think it's smart for John Morrison to come back to WWE?
I'm sorry, who?
Morrison.
Oh, Morrison, yeah. I feel that he's at the end of his career. I really do.
And he's probably retire there.
He's more like Shelton Benjamin. Like, he's going to be back. I don't know if he'd ever be WWE or Universal Champion, but he could definitely make an impact in NXT. So,
and should his wife come too? I don't know if you know Taya Valkyrie.
Yeah.
I think she would add something to the women's division.
I'd probably NXT still too.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And we touched on this a little bit with your results, but did the SCU versus Best Friends match probably was match of the night for me on that one that I saw. Mm-hmm. And I only saw the one match.
Wasn't match of the night for me, but it was still a good match.
Yeah.
It was a good opener match.
Yeah.
AEW has great... It's kind of like a double-edged sword. They have great opening matches, but it's almost like they're shooting their shot too early for the rest of the card until they get back to the main event. So it's a very, it's not even a roller coaster. It's like they really peak and then drop, and then they kind of gradually get back up and, flatline.
Oh. Favorite match of the year so far?
God, everything?
First one comes to mind.
I don't fucking know. There's too many. Now I'm all fucking jumbling trying to say. My favorite match of the year would probably have to be... God, now I'm trying to fucking remember all these matches. It's a tie between... No. Adam Cole and Gargano, 2 out of 3... 3 stages, or I guess 3 stages of hell, 2 out of 3 fall match. Was Ciampa Gargano 2 out of 3 fall? Was that this year?
I think that was earlier this year.
If that was this year, it's a tie between those two. If not, then it was the Gargano.
They had the last man standing match this year.
Okay, yeah, no, then it's the Adam Cole Gargano 2 out of 3 fall, with the third one being the hardcore cage.
Nice.
So, that was the last one.
That is my final freaking thought.
Cool. Chad Gable is now known as Shorty Gable.
Stupid.
Okay. Jinder Mahal was drafted, not The Miz. Which is weird because The Miz was drafted. I just didn't know that when I did this. Yeah, I'm sorry. Let me rephrase that. Jinder Mahal was drafted higher than The Miz.
Jinder Mahal, I don't get the pull.
Bruce Pritchard replaced Bischoff.
Listen, good luck.
Yep. Mike Kanellis requested his release after signing a multi-year deal a few months ago.
So, yeah, I was reading up something about that, but...
It doesn't seem like he's just happy. He wants to go and wrestle in Japan and all across the country and shit like that.
Now that they cleaned him up, he can go.
They do believe that if they did request his release, he wasn't there long enough after the contract signed to have a no-compete clause. So, I'm not sure if it's an AEW thing. Moxley was forced to vacate his U.S. title in New Japan due to not being able to get there because of the typhoon. So because he wasn't able to travel there safely, they vacated the title.
Hey, it's independence. If you're not there to defend your title, it's vacated.
WWE tried to buy Pro Wrestling Noah out in Japan to open up NXT Japan, but failed.
Did they really?
Yeah.
A lot of talents come out of Noah.
AEW renames Gorilla position to Dusty position.
Oh.
Shorty Gable's on Team Hogan.
Poor Team Hogan.
Right. SmackDown is being bumped to Fox Sport 1 next Friday due to Game 3 of the World Series.
I'm a baseball fan too, but I'm way more of a wrestling fan, and that's just stupid.
Okay, so I mentioned earlier, I was asked to leave the wrestling school yesterday because of my DWA shirt. How do you feel about that?
I mean,
it's a t-shirt, right?
It's a t-shirt.
It's a fucking t-shirt.
It's a t-shirt.
It's a t-shirt. Yeah.
It's not like you're the NWO and WCW.
And let me defend myself here on the podcast on why I bought the DWA shirt. So when I purchased this shirt, as long as everyone else was under the impression that DWA was a one-off show and that these were limited supply t-shirts. So I bought one. And it's no different than my Undertaker shirt, the Bobby Roode shirt, the Andre the Giant shirt, the other Andre the Giant shirt, the Rey Mysterio shirt, the Villain shirt, whatever the fuck his name was, Marty Scurll shirt. The Wrestle Club shirt is no different than all the other wrestling shirts. Shit, Elite Pro Wrestling, when my cousin owned the company, no different than any of those shirts. But they get a hissy fit because I fucking wear a DWA shirt.
It just seems kind of, what's that
It's
word?
petty. It's fucking
That's
petty.
the word.
It's fucking petty. So, and I thought there was an understanding between me and SCW regardless of my views on how better ARW is than them, that I was able to go to the schools, I was able to watch and observe the match or the practices and the training without being hassled by anyone from SCW, including Hip Pain. And apparently that all goes out the window because Burna Squatch Scrotum Face fucking Sentinel can't keep his fucking word.
Scrotum Face.
Just because I wear a t-shirt.
Well, I mean, he pays attention more to me and Superfan Steve at the shows than he does his own show.
I'm going to say right now that SCW is very lucky that I'm not going to wear my DWA shirt to the show tonight because, first off, I don't want any more hissy fits coming from either Hip Pain or all his grandchildren that he trains. And plus, I'm going to support my podcast. The same podcast that Sentinel can't keep an agreement with when it comes to match cards.
Well, he doesn't know what's good for business.
Yeah. But guys, if you want to check out any more of our shows, we do release a show every single Saturday on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, YouTube, and Podbean just by searching Just Freaking Wrestling or the JFW Podcast. And that's all I got.
Time to ring the bell on this episode.
Perfect. As always, I am Travesty.
I'm Dizzle J.
And thank you for watching another episode of Just Freaking Wrestling, the JFW Podcast.
Peace.